Can you make $1 million in a single year? It's difficult to imagine that kind of money when you're living paycheck to paycheck. But the reality is, that's entirely possible if you just get outside of your comfort zone and try new ideas. So here in this video, I'm going to share with you 5 practical methods that anyone can use to make over $1 million in a single year. So if you're ready, give this video a thumbs up and let's get started. Number 1. Stock trading. When we talk about investing, you probably imagine how the stock market jumps up and down every single day. Let me tell you a little secret. That is not investing. All this news about how some stocks have risen today and which ones fell has nothing to do with investing. Do you know who cares the most about daily stock market ups and downs? Traders. Day traders don't care about the company they invest in. It doesn't matter whether it's the world's largest corporation or a tiny business in the middle of nowhere that barely exists. The goal is to speculate and bet on the company's stock price. It can rise or fall within a few hours, or in some cases, within a few days. Let's say Airbnb is going to release its financial statements tomorrow. According to your sources, they are going to do better than what investors expect. So, you buy $10,000 worth of Airbnb shares. The next day, Airbnb releases its statements, and you're right. So, Airbnb stock price jumps by 10% since more people are now interested in investing in Airbnb. Your $10,000 of Airbnb shares now worth $11,000. You sell your stocks, and congrats, you have earned $1,000 in a single day. But stocks of stable companies don't fluctuate much. That's why traders prefer unstable companies like Tesla, startups, or a tiny corporation whose stock can even double overnight. You can start with as little as a few $100s, and if you get good enough at predicting which stocks would rise today, then you can make thousands of dollars if not tens of thousands of dollars a day. But keep in mind that it is speculation. In case if you're wrong, you can end up losing everything, so be careful if you ever get into this field. By the way, here is a little disclaimer. This is not financial advice, and everything that's said in this video is for educational purposes. In order to make the best financial decision that suits your own needs, you must conduct your own research and seek the advice of a licensed financial advisor. Number 2. Use debt to invest in real estate. Let me give you a short description of how real estate investors usually build their fortunes. Let's say you have saved $100,000. With $100,000, your options to buy real estate are limited. But here's how you can use debt to turn that $100,000 into $1 million within a year or maybe 2. You find a property in a good neighborhood that costs $250,000, for example. You head to a bank and get a mortgage by making a 20% down payment. Now, you're left with a house that needs renovation, a mortgage, and $50,000. You spend another $25,000 to renovate the house. So your total investment jumps to $75,000. But the value of the house rises as well, let's say to $350,000 since you have renovated the house and turned it from a place that no one wants to live into a place that people are willing to pay to live. You rent it out to cover your mortgage, insurance, and other expenses and make sure that it generates some cash flow. You head to your bank again, but this time refinance your mortgage. Since the value of the house is now $350,000, if you would get an 80% mortgage like you did the first time, you will receive $280,000. You spend $200,000 of that money to cover your first mortgage and you're left with an extra $80,000. You use that money to get another mortgage, renovate it, rent it out, and create a second source of income. You can refinance your second house to get a third mortgage, and so on and so forth. Here is the best part. With just $75,000, you can control assets that worth millions of dollars. Depends on how many properties you have bought, and you have created multiple streams of income. If you have done your research and bought into areas that are rising in demand, your properties will appreciate in value, which means you will be able to increase the rent, but your mortgage will gradually get smaller as the tenants keep paying them off. That's how most people get rich in real estate. Number 3. Sell a course. You've probably heard this a million times, but believe me, this is one of the best and easiest ways to make $1 million in a calendar year. All that you need is one skill that you're really good at. If you don't have any, then you have to build one first. But let's say you're a real estate agent. You know everything from how to find a good property to what to pay attention when buying a property, how to close a deal, and so on. The fact is, there are hundreds of thousands of people who want to become a real estate agent. And if your course is going to help them to accelerate that process, then people are willing to pay for it. At the end of the day, that's going to save them a lot of time. Turn your knowledge into a practical skill and let's say sell it for $200. What? $200 for a course? Isn't that insane? Let me ask you this. Are you ready to pay $200 to learn everything about real estate from an experienced real estate agent? A skill that you can turn into a source of income? Let's be honest, that's peanuts if that knowledge is going to earn you tens of thousands of dollars, right? All that's left for you now is to sell 5,000 copies of that course for $200. Boom! You made $1 million. That's one of the beauties of the internet. And 5,000 people learned everything you know about real estate. By the way, here's a question for you. I've spent the last 7 to 8 years actively investing in the stock market. I've made some really great investments, but at the same time I made some bad investments which taught me a lot of great lessons. So now I'm making even better investments. The question is, if I turn everything I have learned from the past 8 years about the stock market into a course, will you pay for it? If yes, then how much? I'm really curious to know your opinion. Number 4. Find one good stock. In summer 2019, which was not that long ago, a single Tesla stock was worth less than $40. And in less than 2 years, the stock price skyrocketed to over $811. That's a 2,000% increase. What that means is that if you have invested just $1,000 in Tesla a little over a year ago, your $1,000 today would worth over $20,000. Or if you would have saved $50,000 by 2019 and invested your entire $50,000 into Tesla, your net worth would be today over $1 million. Imagine turning $50,000 into $1 million in a single year. That sounds like a dream come true. That doesn't mean you should invest in Tesla now because the company already had its astronomical rise and who knows what's going to happen next. But that's not the point. Every single year or every other year, at least one startup emerges and completely revolutionizes an industry or something like that. And if you're able to spot such an opportunity, you will grow your investments by 5 or 10,000% in a matter of a few years. By the way, I'm constantly watching the market to spot another great opportunity, and if you want to be the first to know about my next investment, be sure to check out my Patreon. Number 5. Create an app. According to our YouTube analytics, most of you watch our videos from your smartphones. The number of mobile users are growing, and it seems like someday in the future only nerds will be using websites, because everything is turning into an app. You literally need an app for every single thing. Of course, the vast majority of what's earned in this industry is by the major players. However, even small apps can earn up to a few $1,000s a day or tens of thousands of dollars a month. The top apps easily turn over $100,000 a day, which amounts to tens of millions annually. We're not talking about the top apps like Facebook or YouTube because they earn unbelievable amounts of money. Of course, building an app is a huge risk. You could be spending 6 months building an app, but at the end of the day, no one will use it. So it's better to study the market first and deliver something that has the highest chance to succeed. It could be a game like Angry Birds or Bubble Ball that unexpectedly became super popular on the platform. The fact is, if you know how to build apps, you have all the chances to make at least $1 million in this industry. By the way, if you use the link in the description, you will get 2 weeks of Skillshare Premium where you can learn how to develop apps. These are just 5 ideas of how to make $1 million a year, which are entirely feasible. With some hard work and hopefully some luck, you can make it in under a year. If not, you might need some more time to try and learn. If you have enjoyed this video, you will most definitely enjoy this custom playlist that I have created specifically for you that has our most popular videos on business and investing in the stock market that could potentially change your life. And now, give this video the thumbs up that it deserves and make sure to subscribe if you haven't done that yet. Thanks for watching, and until next time.